You are live.
Woohoo! Hello, Bonbini.
Hey.
Hey, hey. Guess what? We're here, and we had minimal amounts of technical difficulties, though we did have some.
You remember the days of just turning things on and then working?
When we had we just
What? What did we do?
We were like flickering. I don't know if that happened in the YouTube world, but anyway.
Probably this camera.
We tried to simplify our lives and ended up making it more complicated. How many times have you done that in your life? But we are actually back on StreamYard tonight.
Yeah.
Because StreamYard reached out to us and we're like, why did you leave? And we said, because 1080. And they said, we'll give you 1080 for the same price. So we're on a trial with that. So let us know tonight how we look, how we sound. I don't mean like, hey, you look pretty good. I mean like, from a video audio standpoint.
Oh, apparently I've just hit my January monthly challenge for my Apple Watch.
I mean, welcome.
Welcome.
Well done. Well done. Like a steak. Nobody should eat a steak well done, but
wow, and I still have like.
I mean, if that's what you want.
What was that challenge? I have to know now.
No idea.
I am so sorry.
I'm going to say hi to people while you're doing that. Let's see. We had Ashley was here like 6:18. I don't know if she's still here, and Ed.
Oh, I reached my daily move goal 12 times this month.
Okay.
That is why I reached the goal. Cool.
Roddy Woodworking, welcome. If you are still here, hello. I think you are.
He is. I saw him say something.
Oh, cool.
8:20.
Cool. Fintastic Cruising is here. Hello, Fantastic. Oh, wait. Never mind. Meg is here. Bonbini Meg. And the one and only Kevin Counts. Happy Aloha Friday, Mr. Kevin Counts. Jeff and Pam. Hey, Jeff and Pam. Thank you for joining us tonight. We got the one and only Todd Blount joining us here.
Hey, Todd.
Hello, Todd. How are you? Good, sir. All the cool kids are on StreamYard. That's what Kevin says. I don't know, but we are too. So
I personally like the user friendliness of StreamYard, which is why we're trying it again.
Yeah.
So if StreamYard can do what they're offering to do, then we might be StreamYard people again.
Yeah. We look a little pale, I think, but don't mess with it.
Why I asked
don't mess with it because we don't want the camera to go wonky again.
Did you say hi to Paul Vines?
I did not. Would you like to say hello to Paul Vines?
Hello, Paul Vines.
Hello, Paul Vines. How are you today? And look at this. G'day to the Down Under Cruises.
I don't think they're going live tonight.
No? Are you guys not going live tonight? Tell us, Sean and Alana. Did you see something that they weren't going live?
Yeah, I saw a post that said we're not going live tonight.
We've been distracted today. We bought a vehicle to sort of last night, sort of today. So that took a lot of time and energy, and it's very exciting, but it was also very stressful for a time. But the stress is done now, and now we can just enjoy the spoils of the war. Kimbra, your background is awesome, says Sean from Australia.
We are live tonight. Well, somebody's not going live tonight.
Well, what the heck?
I don't know who I saw.
I think that they didn't maybe go live another Wednesday, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know. And my phone's just delayed on telling me these things.
Well, you know how Facebook is. It shows you something 3 days later for some reason. Like, hey, look at this exciting news. And you're like, oh, that would have been helpful. At the time.
There's Lovey's Fat Life.
Hey, Lovey's Fat Life. Hey, Mike. Mike, I don't know if you heard what we were saying, but StreamYard reached out to us and was like, please come back. What do you like more about EVMux? And we said 1080p, man. And so they gave us a free trial, and if we like it, they said they'll give us 1080p on the lower level tier. So I know you've tried EVMux, and I'm wondering what your experience has been so far, because we've had very mixed feelings about it. We can chat about that if you would like to do that. Kevin Count says, is there anybody going on a cruise next Sunday? We aren't going, but curious to see who is. Is that the big vlogger cruise?
Oh, probably is.
It's coming up, right? with like 5,000 YouTube channels on it or something like that.
Not us. Let's see. Jeff and Pam said, "What vehicle did you get?" I'm actually getting ready to upload some photos.
Well, it depends on whether you're Larry from Canada or you're Matt from America.
You mean the U.S.?
Yeah, it's State America, like South America or Central America. Yeah, Sean is preferring EV Mux. Sean, we have had lots of technical difficulties, and I'm not sure if it's fair to blame it on EV Mux. It might be hardware on our end. It could be just bad luck. I don't really know, but we've had issues, and yeah. So we're playing the game. We'll see what happens. Whoa,
What happened?
No, it's fine. I think it's just my end. I don't know. It just like went really fast all of a sudden. Hey, we got cruise talk in the house. Hey, JT. How's it going? All the way over in Polk City, the land of tortoises.
The land of tortoises.
Ed says 50 more days for the best group cruise. I think he's talking about our group cruise.
You think?
50 days. He's on that one.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Thank you. I don't know if we're the best group cruise, but we are a group cruise, and we're going to be a really fantastic group
super
cruise.
Stoked. I just want to say that there's a couple going on this cruise that we've actually not met, not really talked to at all. They're friends of friends who ended up not going, and they were possibly going to cancel, and things worked out in a way that they're not going to cancel. They're still going, and I am super excited for that because I'm excited to meet new people, and they're divers. So I don't think they actually watch us, but if they happen to jump on and watch us,
hello.
We look forward to it. I'm excited.
We look forward to
all right
and hanging out.
Are you ready for this, Matt?
I am.
The photos?
Yeah, bring it. Bring it.
There's a side view.
Are you going to tell them what it is? Because we didn't actually say that.
Oh, you didn't say it?
No, I started to, and then I thought maybe you'd want to. The presentation.
It is a Kia Sportage.
Or
Sportage.
In Canada, they call it a Sportage, which we just find amusing. But
yeah.
Anyway.
So there we go.
Yeah.
There it is. I didn't put all the pictures in there. I hope that's okay, Matt. I only did.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It's weird because today I was like, "Oh, should I post this on Facebook?" And then I'm like, I don't remember people putting when they buy new cars up. Isn't that like a big life thing? Maybe it is just for us because we don't buy new cars. Like our cars were. I had my car for 11 years. Yeah, just JT. Like next week he'll get a new truck. But and you had yours for like what 10?
I got it in 2014.
So 9. 8.
Almost. Well, I mean, I still have it.
That's right. We haven't got rid of that. Yeah, we still have that one.
Yeah.
So we have 2 vehicles. 2. Sean says, I found that when I upgraded the internet speed and removed some programs, and I have not had any issues. Okay, good to know. We will take that advice into consideration. We cannot upgrade our internet speed. Well, I guess maybe we could, but it's stupid expensive, and we have no choices in our apartment. Hey, look at that! Stacy and Gina from the Carnival Horizon on. Wait, is this their second week? Is this the? Are you still on 1 or 2 of the back-to-back?
I would say this is probably the end of
end
the
of
first
1.
Yeah.
If it is, that's exciting because you got
I know they went to see the Celestial Strings show.
Yes, which is really cool.
How was it?
Tell us. JT says buying a new car is a big deal. Yeah.
Where the fuck is going?
Apparently, Mike is going to see Stacy soon. Oh yeah, because okay.
He's on the second half.
So that tells us it's still the first half. Yes, because that's exciting. That's 2 families that we really, really like, and they're going to be on a cruise together without us. Just saying.
And neither of them are going on our group cruise.
What?
There's a problem here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's all right. That's okay. All right. So we got 1 minute and we're going to run the credits. And then we got a really special guest tonight, which we will, of course, introduce. And you guys already know the topic if you saw the thumbnail. But yeah. You want to roll them there?
Oh,
Credits?
are you ready for them?
I mean, we're within seconds, so
okay.
Let's be ahead of time for
All
once.
right, let's do this.
Come with me, we're going on a Fintastic Cruise. Pick your destination with news, tips, and reviews. But here is an item you might not have thought of. All of the things under the water. Nature surrounds us with elegant features. You can't go on a cruise and not see the creatures. So let's make some magic, let's get ecstatic. Instantly classic, maybe romantic. The wildlife around you, cinematic on your Fintastic Cruise.
Bon Beanie, and thank you for joining us on another episode of Fintastic Cruising. I'm Matt.
And I'm Kimbra.
And I need to think of a more creative say to I am Matt. I think I've worn out.
I mean, can't you just say I'm Matt?
No. This is episode like 163, I think is the number I typed on the thumbnail today. 163 times we have done this.
That's a lot.
It's a whole lot. And actually, we've done it more than that. We're talking about the podcast, by the way. Because we haven't always done like a podcast episodes. Sometimes we do the live, not that often. So we're probably not past 170, but still.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
And thank you guys out there that are listening or watching or both for keeping us wanting to do this, because you are the reason why we do it. So hello. Tonight we have a really special guest. Before we get into that, though, do we have any news, any information that we want to share with people?
Well, I mean, we do have something coming up soon.
We do, and I think Roddy Woodworking said it best: 50 days.
Yeah, there's a really awesome group cruise put on by the Fintastic Cruising Group.
Fintastic Cruising Group? That makes it sound like a lawyer firm.
Of Kimbra and Matt.
Brought to you by the Fintastic Cruising Group. If you've been injured in an accident, call 1-800 Dolphins Don't Care. I don't know. I don't know. No, this is going to be our first official Fintastic Cruising Group cruise. That's a lot of words. Leaving out of the beautiful port of Tampa,
which is where we live.
And work. And it's going to go to the beautiful island of Grand Cayman in the Cayman Islands. And then it's going to go down to Honduras and visit Roatan, and specifically the port of Mahogany Bay. Then a jot up, is that a word? A little jot up north to Belize. And then a little bit further up to Cozumel, which is a little island off the coast of mainland Mexico in the portion of Mexico called Quintana Roo. And then back to Tampa. And there'll be a couple of few sea days thrown in there.
One on each end.
One on either end, yeah. So it's like a cruise sandwich.
So not only is this cruise
carbs.
going out of Tampa, but it is going on the lovely Carnival Pride.
It is indeed. And that is a fan favorite of many cruisers out there. And if you'd like to be one of those
Did you say the date?
No. Go ahead.
Well, I just think it's important.
It is. And it's only 50 days away from when we're recording this.
Right. It is March 12th through 19th of 2023. I am so excited. But if you still want to go, we can still happily have you join us.
I think there are cabins still available.
I think so.
But I don't know how many. So
it's probably getting pretty close. It is spring break time in the area. But yeah, if you want to, send me an email at fintastictravel@gmail.com, and I will do everything in my power to get you on this cruise, because we want you to join us.
All right, so there's our commercial. Also, do know this is going to be the second cruise featuring technically 4 recipients for Helping Hands for Cruising, 2 couples, so 2 separate couples that were brought on board literally by donations from folks like you to help people who would not otherwise have an opportunity to cruise. The first one we were on in October, and it was a hoot and a nanny, and this one is going to have twice the people that we're helping out. So Helping Hands for Cruising, by the way,
You say twice the people?
actually quadruple the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Twice the, yeah. It's, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, we are going to be doing a Helping Hands for Cruising cruise-a-thon coming up. Do you know when the dates are off the top of your head?
February 9th is when it starts. It's kind of like I think it's a 3 or 4 kind of day thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's not going to go overnight like we've done previously because those overnight really late hours are kind of hard to work through. So we're not going to do that, but it is
Till like midnight.
till like midnight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Lots of different channels are participating in that. Don't forget, there is a Helping Hands for Cruising YouTube channel. There is also a Helping Hands for Cruising Facebook group and I believe page. So
yeah, I also want to say if any of the channels that are currently watching us right now are interested in participating and doing an hour slot in the cruise-a-thon, go ahead and email Meg. Meg, if you want to put your email in there so that they can get in contact with you, however they would need to do so. We would love to we need to reach out to more people. So if any of you have never done it, want to know more about it, and want to participate, please reach out to Meg. You can reach out to us to get information, but Meg is the one doing the scheduling for this. So
are there still slots? Do we know that
yes, there are still slots. I looked today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So tonight we have a very special guest because he is a friend, he is a coworker, he is the one and only man who wrote and performed our theme tune, which is pretty awesome. And we're bringing him on tonight to talk about Disney cruises because he and his wife have cruised Disney, I believe, twice now, without their kids. They have kids. They have a kid. I think just a kid, right? But they're older. They're grown up. So we want to hear his perspective on this Disney cruise.
Yes.
So let's see if we got the thumbs up. If he is ready to come on board there, and it looks like he is. So we will introduce Thom. And I will you got to bring him up. Can I bring him up?
You can do it.
There we go. Welcome.
Hey. Ahoy there, mate.
I like the hat.
Yes, I was picking out the octopus pirate hat there.
How are you, sir?
Doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for
Thanks
joining
for
us.
joining us.
Yeah, actually, you've been on 2 Disney cruises. Was I correct in saying that?
Correct. Yes. Sir.
Okay. And the first time you were on one, somebody else that we know, who you also know, was on one, and she came on and gave us her perspective and also her daughter's perspective, which is interesting. And now we get to have the adult perspective, which is in some ways more interesting. So, so let's start with this. You went on a Disney cruise. What port did you leave out of?
So we've done 2 cruises with Disney. We were on the Dream both times. First time we left out of Canaveral. The second time out of Miami.
Okay, cool. And were these 7-night cruises or 5-night?
No, the first one was just I think 3 days, 4 nights or something like that. It was a shorter one, just Bahamas and back basically. Mm-hmm. And then the one we just did was the Very Merry Christmas Cruise. Oh. So, if you like Christmas and you like Disney, that's the one to be on because it was pretty great. And that was out of Miami, and that was a 4-day, 5-night, I think it was. Okay. So we had 1 extra day at sea, and I love days at sea.
Especially, I think, on a Disney ship. I mean, in general, but because there's so much magic.
Yeah. And as far as contrasting the ports, Canaveral has their specific designated Disney cruise. Now that was COVID times where you had to get tested and everything. And so that was stressful and took time. And I was stressed about Miami just because of, it's a drive and you got to get there in your certain window and everything. But it was about a 3.5-hour drive for us. And it couldn't have been smoother. I think from the time that I dropped off the luggage, it couldn't have been more than 25 minutes later that I was on the boat.
Fantastic. Wow.
Yeah, I literally walked from the parking garage to the terminal and didn't stop walking until I was on the boat.
Did you drove the day of from Tampa down to Miami?
Yeah, we took that chance. That's always one of the best things we found is joining these Facebook groups before you go on a cruise for your specific cruise. We haven't done that for anything but Disney. I'm sure other lines have them where people get together and put the things, but a lot of people were saying, don't wait for the day, get there before, stay in a hotel. You don't know what's going to happen. And that's true. But we took the chance, we rolled the dice, thinking that even if the worst highway situation occurred, we would still get there before the boat took off at 5 o'clock or whenever it was.
Yeah, I think Miami's like on that edge. If you're for us that live in the Tampa area, it's because it's a reasonable distance, I think, to go in one day. If you're flying into a port or something, I would definitely recommend getting there
for
a
sure.
day ahead. But really, you can leave earlier but your odds of not making it are pretty slim, I think, for something like that. So that's interesting. I didn't realize this was a Christmas themed cruise. So the first one was the Bahamas. What ports was this one?
This one was Nassau and then Castaway Key. So still just Bahamas.
Okay.
I've done a couple of other cruise lines as well, and farthest we went was Cozumel.
Okay. Yeah, and you've been on what were the other lines you were on?
We did the Carnival and we did Royal Caribbean.
Okay, so you've kind of tasted two of the very biggest cruise lines, and then as well as Disney. So that's important because the contrast and stuff between those experiences can be important. So
what's interesting about those ships is that the first one was Carnival Liberty, I think, which was fairly small. I think 2,000 somewhere in there, and then we did Oasis of the Seas, which was 6,000. Yeah, and the Wish or the Dream sits comfortably in the middle at about 4,000 fully booked. And from what I understand, it was full. It felt full.
Yeah.
Our COVID era cruise on the Dream was lovely. There was so many wide open spaces and room, and not a line for anything. But there were also things that weren't happening on that cruise too, and you had to wear a mask everywhere and all that. So, those were those times. But
sure.
4,000 is like, for us, that's it. We represent a very specific demographic of cruisers. We're not drinkers. We're not partiers. We like to sit and watch the water. We like to enjoy the outdoor air. We like to see shows. We don't do a lot of excursions, if any. We love the beach. So we're just kind of chill out, relaxing, hang out in the spa kind of cruisers. We're not the two excursions in every port kind of people, and wine and alcohol tastings and all that stuff. I know that they're there and they exist, and I can talk about them, but we look for peace and solitude a lot on a cruise, and believe it or not, you can find it on a Disney cruise.
That I do believe it because it's Disney, so I know they excel at things. I have not been on anything quite as large as Oasis, but I do like the bigger Carnival ships, but I think I like that. That's kind of my Goldilocks area too, is maybe 4,000 or 5,000 people. I think I'll have to try one of these mega ships at some point, but
4,000 felt like I was on a floating hotel.
Yeah.
6,000 was like, this is a city, because there's neighborhoods and there's levels, and it's like Coruscant. It just keeps going down.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I was curious. So Rotterdam is about that number.
About what?
4,000.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I love the size of that ship.
Yeah.
So I think I would agree that's kind of a really good.
Yeah, it's a good size because we kind of, I got to be careful using the word swing. We kind of will kind of go in and out of different cruising styles, but I think probably our main cruising style, when especially if it's just the two of us, is kind of like what you're talking about, Tom. While we're on the ship, at least we're looking for solitude more than, you know, party atmosphere. Sometimes we have our party days, but not too often. So I kind of appreciate having a space to get away. So the embarkation sounds like it was really smooth. And then on board, let's talk about the overall experience of like the first day. What was muster like?
Muster was a strange combination of pre-COVID and post-COVID. So I've done the musters where you're standing outside, literally under the lifeboats, and you know, standing there and getting in it. And it's hot and it's all that. Then the COVID muster was literally go with your phone, scan a QR code, and you're done. That was fantastic, though I don't know how effective it would have been in an emergency.
Right.
This one was for Disney. For us, it was weird. Now, I do know there were people who went outside and maybe stood on the decks. We went into the big theater, the big Walt Disney Theater, and there were groups of people, and this was actually probably the least well executed thing on the entire voyage, because you had people, cast members, shouting at their groups of people, and you couldn't hear what everybody was saying. It was just this cacophony of cast members shouting at their groups, but all I could hear was all of them talking at once. So I didn't really get anything out of it, but we went, we showed up, and thankfully we didn't need any of that information.
Right.
But it was relatively painless. You know, we went down a few flights of stairs and sat in an air-conditioned, lovely theater, and then left. And the crowds were well managed, at least. So that was good. So that was muster. One of the great things about getting on a Disney ship is they announce every family that comes on. So you walk in and they're like, "What's your name?" And they go, "Mesrobian." And they go, "The what?" Mesrobian. They, "Please welcome the Mesrobian family," and everybody applauds. And that's a nice touch. When you're walking into this big lobby. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous ship. And that's one of, like, even on the Oasis, when I got to some parts of the ship, it felt like a ship. I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see we're on a ship. On the Dream, to me, it always felt like we were in this really nice hotel, and every morning we just woke up at a different place. I very rarely, if ever, got the feeling that I was on a ship. It's just a gorgeous vessel, and it's just the detail is just next level.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, I understand on Disney you eat in a different dining room every evening, and then your wait staff follows you. How was the food on the ship?
The food was the best it's been of the 2 times that I've been there. The food was even better, and the service was remarkable. We had our wait staff, and I really enjoy the rotational dining of not eating in the same place every night, because we did that on the other 2 ships, and it just, you know, every night was a new adventure and a new menu, and you know, new stuff to try. And so I really like the rotational dining. And with the 4 nights, we ended up eating in 2 of the places more than once. But one night, it was Animator's Palette, I think, is where we ended up. But one night was Pirate Night. And so there's a completely different menu for Pirates Night. So we had 4 different menus in 3 different restaurants. So plenty of stuff to keep you occupied. And the staff was just, I mean, just really, really great. They seemed genuine and honest. We had a guy from Mumbai, and the assistant was a young man from Serbia, and named Jovan. And we connected with them immediately, and we actually took pictures with them, and, you know, or like, you know, let us know, we'll be back, we'll come, we'll look for you, that kind of thing. A quick story. So my wife and my in-laws, well, she grew up in East Africa, in Kenya, and they now live in Uganda. And so there's a heavy Indian population there. And so they grew up eating my Indian food and, you know, authentic stuff. So she introduced me to it after we got married. I'd never had it before. I'm from Mississippi. We don't have that there. So and then I love Indian food. So on one of the nights we had samosas, and we started talking to our server who's from Mumbai and talking about Indian food. And he goes, "Do you like Indian food?" I go, "Oh, we love it." He goes, "I'll make you Indian food. It's not on the menu, but I'll get the chef to make you Indian food." Oh. And so the last night we came in and we ordered our scallops and the steak and the whole thing because he didn't really say anything about it. And then after we'd eaten that, he brought out this buffet of Indian food made from scratch, obviously, but made by the chef that was, you could tell by looking at it, it had been cooking for hours.
Oh, wow.
Maybe this was like the secret stash of the crew. I don't know, but there was a naan, and there was cauliflower, and then there was this chicken masala that was better. That was the best Indian food we've ever had in our lives. Coming from people who have spent the majority of their lives eating Indian food, and it was just nobody else got it. It was just there for us, and that kind of service and attention to detail just blows everything else out of the water that I've experienced.
That is wild. Yeah, and Indian is my favorite, I call it, genre of food. I love Indian food, and usually it seems like a lot of cruise lines, the head chef, a lot of times they're from India, and so usually like Carnival, for example, offers an Indian dish every night. They just call it vegetarian Indian, and you don't really know what you're going to get, but it's almost always amazing. But I've had times when I've been on Carnival cruises, and the wait staff is like, "Oh, you like Indian food?" And then nothing like that, though. That's awesome. I would love to experience something like that. That sounds epic.
Yeah. And we just always got the feeling, and I won't call out anybody, but there are times on cruise ships where I have felt like the staff, they're being very friendly and kind, but behind their eyes, they're saying, "Help me." Because they work tremendously long hours. Sure. They're away from their families. And I'm like, man, but I didn't get that with the Disney crew. I always felt like they were, we talked to them and said, "Yeah, well, I've worked here for this long, but I'm going back to this, we're for 4 months with the family." And it always seemed that they weren't, that they were enjoying what they did. And that's helpful.
That's awesome. Yeah. Now you are an entertainer. I mean, that's how we met you, as an entertainer, working at the same place that we were, the aquarium. And of course you did our theme song, and you also do a lot of acting and stuff like that. Did you go to any of the entertainment on the ship? And if so, how was it?
We did. So there were 3 shows that ran. There was the Golden Mickeys, which was a kind of faux award ceremony where it kind of gets hijacked by the characters, and so there's a lot of Disney characters in that one. A lot of Disney characters in all of them, and that was a fun show. It was fun. The production qualities, the stage is just next level. There's another show called Believe, which I think runs on most of the shows, and that's a very very traditional Disney. You got the single parent with the child who dreams of a different life, and he doesn't want her to have that, and by the end of it they come around, and spoiler alert, there's a happy ending to a Disney show. But
are there dead parents?
but that features the genie comes in and takes over that show, and then so that's fun. But Beauty and the Beast, which we did not see the first time because of technical difficulties and possibly rough seas, we finally got to see it. Matt, this was one of the best things I've ever seen on stage, including Broadway. This was next level. I mean, wow. the technical complexity of that show. There were 3 different lifts inside the stage that rose and fell, and actors are jumping into them. They've got to be moving. And I've seen, the Carnival, the Oasis of the Seas has those things where it's like a pool and they're running through the water, and there's a underneath the water, there's a platform, and it's got a wreck, because sometimes they dive and sometimes they walk on it, and you got to better believe that that's down when they dive into it. So, the safety protocols must be amazing. But just with all the things that flew in, the actors were flying, the sound was impeccable. The talent on stage was top of the line. I mean, it really was one of the best shows I've ever seen. And yeah, it pretty much blows everything that I've seen on another ship out of the water. But yeah, it was great.
That's awesome. Coming from you, I feel like that's kind of your expertise. So that I feel like carries a little more weight even than, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's what I do, and I know the tricks of the trade, and I know how hard they are, and I'm spotting, you know, oh, this is how they did that, and that's how they did that, and that's really advanced, and wow, that's fantastic. So, yeah, I have a little bit of qualifications to spot good things. Of course, it's all subjective. It's what you like. If you don't like Disney, it's probably not going to be your kind of show. But that's another thing. I've been watching some. I looked at some other vlogs, and there was a cruise. Disney Cruising for Adults by a guy who admittedly, he says, I know nothing about Disney. I haven't seen the movies. I haven't been to the parks. I don't know anything about Disney. And I'm walking around the ship, and he goes, there's Disney everywhere. I'm like, yeah, man, that's the that's what it is. It's the Disney cruise.
Also, how do you live in the world and not see any Disney?
yeah. I mean, but there is a mythology and a lore, and if you don't know the characters, you know, it's a pretty boat. But if you know the characters and you have a history with them, and you have favorites, and you see them pop up in unexpected places, then you're just appreciating it on a whole different level. Like when you go out into the atrium and you've got 4 or 5 princesses there signing autographs and taking pictures, and it's Cinderella, and it's Tiana, and it's Jasmine, and it's Belle, and wow, they're all here. And then there's Goofy, and you know, if you have an affinity for those characters, which I do, then it's another level of enjoyment.
Very cool. Now, I know Disney, of course, like owns all the franchises now. So did they incorporate a lot of like Marvel and Star Wars on the cruise that you were on? Or was it?
There was a little Star Wars on this. There's in the kids area, there's which you can only see, if you don't have kids, you can only see it before debarkation or embarkation. So there's a Millennium Falcon. I think there's a little bit of Star Wars there. The Wish has much more Star Wars. There's a Star Wars bar on the Wish, and then there's a whole Marvel restaurant on the Wish, which was not on this one. So not as much Star Wars. This one, a lot of pirates, which is I have an affinity for.
You're a fan, yes.
Playing a pirate. Very often that I like everything pirate. So I had the wonderful interactions with Jack Sparrow. He's the only character I took time to get pictures with. But Pirate Night, the whole ship dresses up as pirates, and it's so much fun. And then so I'm dressed up as Sharktooth, and I went as Sharktooth Santa this year. So I was a cross between a Sharktooth and a I'll have to send you a picture.
Tell us real quickly for people that don't know you about that, about your Sharktooth character.
About Sharktooth?
Yeah.
So Sharktooth Sam is a character I created. He's a pirate, and he's the center point of a one-man show called Be a Pirate, and a sequel called Let Me See Your Booty, which I performed at the Tampa Fringe Festival and again at the Orlando Fringe Festival last year, and we won some awards, Critics' Choice Awards, especially the festival thing. So that was very rewarding. It's a very fun show. I was actually asked to come and do it at the Mensa convention last weekend, but I got sick and couldn't do it. I had to.
Oh no! Yeah, you told me you were going to do that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they'll have you a different. Will they reschedule you?
I hope so. I hope they ask me back. But
very cool. So, all right. So let's get into the real elephant in the room, the Dumbo in the room, so to speak, and that is the question that I've always had about Disney cruises. I've sort of had an answer a little bit over the years, maybe, but for somebody that wants to go on this cruise, but is like, kids are great. I deal with them all the time at work. when I'm on a cruise, not really what I'm looking for, that demographic. And being a Disney cruise, I imagine like a monstrous mass of children. How is it cruising as an adult on Disney?
Well, if you don't like kids at all and you want a kids-free trip, go on Virgin, go on some of these adult cruises on Celebrity. That's going to be your niche. We like being around children and seeing them react and have fun. And like, we'll go to the Frozen show at Hollywood Studios, not to see the show, but to see the kids react to that, because that's just fun for us. So that being said, there are many adult only spaces with pools, hot tubs, chairs and chaise lounges and beautiful views. There's a place right at the front of the ship that's adults only, and you can go out there right at the front of the ship and sit in this pool, and it's fantastic. You're going to see kids when you eat. You're going to see kids if you go to shows. They're around. They're going to be in the atrium getting pictures with the princesses, but you don't have to be there if that's not your thing. So, there's also the spa, the Senses spa, which is fantastic. We spend a lot of time there. There's a section called the Rainforest, which has all of these different kinds of showers, like waterfall showers and tropical storm showers. Plus, it has 2 hot tubs that hang over the side of the ship, and that's where we like to spend a lot of time. And then these wonderful ceramic heated lounges, chaise lounges that you can lay in, and it's just very relaxing, and there's soft music, and that's all adults only. So you can go there and spend the entire day there, and it's kids free and very peaceful. So yeah, we again, we liked being around the kids and seeing them have fun, but when we wanted to find those spaces, they're abundant. There's also tons of kids only spaces that you can't go. And that's okay too.
Turnabout is fair play, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Hey, Thom, can I share that picture?
Yes, please. So, so of course, whenever I see Jack Sparrow, I always go up to him and I say, Jack Sparrow, you're the worst pirate I've ever heard of. Which he also responds, well, at least you've heard of me.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I actually won the worst costume at the aquarium holiday party with that shirt. The ugly sweater contest. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Are those real tattoos?
No, they are part of the shirt. Which makes it so much better. Yeah, that's a great shirt.
So when you went to Nassau, did you do anything in Nassau? Did you stay on the ship? What was your Nassau?
We have in the past, but so with Nassau, as I'm sure most of the listeners know, there's that area where you get off the boat and it's like, there's a Margaritaville or a Senior Frogs, or it's like, it's America. It's nothing special. You go outside of that. The first time we went to Nassau was quite an experience. I don't know how much time I have, but there's a funny story where I almost thought I was about to die. We get off the boat and we say, our friends told us we have to go to Fish Fry. So we get into a taxi and we say, we need to go to the Fish Fry. Well, we thought Fish Fry was a place, one restaurant, the Fish Fry. Fish Fry is the entire district. So we got there early, and it's before lunch, and we're like, not a lot of people around, but all the hype men are coming out from the restaurants saying, hey, come over here, come to our restaurant. And one guy comes up to us and goes, oh, you don't want to eat those. Those are all Jamaican chefs. You don't want to eat any of that. Come here. Bahamian chefs over here. We'll take care of you. And so we walk with this guy, and then I realize we're walking away from the general area to this other area, to the water. And he goes, yeah, just come down here behind the thing. And we're going behind a building now.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, I've gotten us killed on our first trip out of the country. Wonderful. Oh, wife. And so we come around the corner, and I swear to God, this huge guy with a knife is standing there. And I'm like, that's it. We're dead. And he's like, oh, he'll cut open the conch for you. And so we look, and there's this kid in the water, and he goes down and gets this conch out of this big cage that's underwater, pulls it up. The guy cuts it out, gives it to a woman who washes it in a very unclean bucket full of water, and gives it to me. And he goes, you eat it, you just eat it just like that. And I was like, yeah, you first, cowboy.
Yeah.
And he did, and then I ate it as well, and it was like chewing on a balloon.
I was gonna say just raw.
Yeah, just raw, right out of the ocean. I mean, she cut it out of the shell, washed it off, and gave it to me.
Wow.
And I'm like, all right, let's do it. We're in the Bahamas. So I do it, and I'm chewing, and it literally, if you've ever chewed on a balloon, that's what it felt like. And so I'm like, oh, thank you, that's good. You guys have this in the restaurant? Oh yeah, we got that. Okay, go inside. Okay, we're gonna go inside. So I'm walking away, and I'm talking to my wife. I said, I can't chew this. I can't do this. So I just spit it out. I don't want to be rude, right? I spit it out, and I just kind of so subtly toss it to where it hits a chain link fence and spins. And it's just hanging there like a uvula. And I'm like, run, go, leave. We have to get out of here. And that's how I almost died in the Bahamas. So this time around, we did not. We stayed on the boat the whole time. We traveled with her parents, who are world travelers, and they live in Uganda. So this was like, you don't really need to go in the Bahamas. So we went to the spa. We enjoyed the ship and all of its amenities. Speaking of which, I didn't mention there are 2 upscale restaurants that you can eat on at they're adults only, Palo and Remy's, and those are they do brunch and they also do dinner. Those are like, I don't know a jacket, but you got to wear a tie at least for that. And so those are dress up nice restaurants. We looked at it and decided it wasn't worth the extra expense for us, but they looked really good. We're not big fans of French food, and Paolo is Italian, which we are big fans of, but yeah, we decided not to do it. But I've seen lots of good reviews of those, and those are nice places you can go and eat without kids around.
It's hard to justify spending money on specialty dining when you're getting such good food included in your cruise.
Yeah, and literally you're going down to dinner, and it's this, give me I'll have this entree, that entree, and we'll get this for the table, and it's just ridiculous the amount of food. So, we didn't feel it necessary, but if you're wanting to go upscale and spend some time away from kids when you eat, that's the place to do it.
Yeah, and if you've been on that line, multiple times, at some point you're like, you know what, I've done this. Let's try something different.
Yeah.
So you also went to Castaway Cay on this particular cruise?
Yes, we did go to Castaway Cay.
Cay? Is it? Do they call it Cay?
They do call it Cay. Yeah.
What did you do anything exciting in Castaway Cay?
So also there they have adults only options. There's 2 family beaches. Each of them have a food site. Cookies barbecue, Cookies 1 and Cookies 2. And then you take a tram to the far end of the island, and that is blanking on the name, Serenity Bay. And it's adults only. It has its own food options, and it's a little bit upscale. They have ribeye steaks there, where the other places do not. The food there was very good this time around. Last time we went, it was very windy and cold, and it was in April. We couldn't go out on the beach because it was just so windy. They wouldn't let you out, so that wasn't great. But there were hammocks out there. We got into some hammocks. There's also cabanas you can rent out there. They go ridiculously fast and ridiculously expensive, but they're booked within 30 seconds of them being available. But that's a very nice beach area, and again, adults only. So we went there. I did go out and do a little bit of snorkeling. Water was about 79 degrees, so a little chilly. But once you got in there and moved around, it was okay. Now they do have a snorkeling area on the family beach, but I've never done it. But all accounts I have said is that it's way out there. You really have to swim quite a bit before you get there. But then there's all sorts of like Disney things buried under there and a
Oh,
good
that's
Oh,
cool.
that's cool.
of animals, but you can go down to see Mickey down there. You can't dive down; they won't let you, but because you got to wear a vest. But out there where I went into some of the seagrasses out there, and I saw some wrasse, saw a ray. So that was kind of fun. Saw some penguins.
We're going to talk about penguins in a minute, but before we do that though, so I just want to know one more thing about this cruise is disembarkation. So that can be a very different experience on different lines. How smooth or not smooth was that?
Again, Miami was super smooth. There's lines, but they kept moving. I never felt like I was sitting there going, "Oh, geez, we're never gonna get out of here." We didn't have a lot of stuff, but we grabbed a porter as soon as we got there, and because it is a little bit of a walk to the car, more than like at Canaveral where you're just right there. And we parked on site.
Okay.
That's just simpler. It's a little bit, it's more expensive, but it's there, and I don't have to wait for a bus or load and unload two or three times. So, but it was a bit of a walk. So we got a porter. He took us right to the car. I mean, I don't think it took more than an hour to get through. I don't think it was even that much time.
Okay.
Definitely less than an hour. Maybe closer to 35, 40 minutes.
So final thoughts on it, because everybody knows Disney cruises are way more expensive than your other main lines or other upper tier lines that would be competitive with that. But, and you've been on other main lines, so value for your dollar, what do you think of Disney?
I'm a little skewed because my trip on the Oasis was a gig. I was booked I went with a band and we played. So we played like 3 nights, but it was one of those things where, kind of like what you're doing with go on a cruise with the band. So there were fans of the band, and I was brought along as a guest artist, but they had diehard fans, like like one of those Journey cruises or whatever. So we would go, and one of the thing was you got to eat dinner with the band every night we would all eat in the room, and but that was, sorry, I heard a knocking. So I didn't pay for that. I got paid to go on it, which was pretty great.
Wow.
So I don't really know what that cost. And the Disney cruises are more expensive. For me, it is worth it. The overall value, the overall amount of service that you're getting, the food, the entertainment was all. The rooms, the staterooms are really, really good with the split bathrooms. That's a really exciting thing. I don't know if you know about split bathrooms, but
that's where they have a space for the like a toilet in one and a shower.
Right, the showers in one, the toilets in the other.
Yeah. That's that's nice for anyone, but especially I'm sure if you have family.
And on this one, we were in it was a full tub. I mean, it wasn't even like one of those little circles. It was a full-on bathtub. Nice. So so for me, it made sense, and we enjoyed it. But we also look for the discounts. We had a Florida residence discount, which on select sailing. So that was about, I think, 35 to 40% off.
Oh wow, that's pretty good
of the sailing. So so that was good, I thought. So for us, it's worth it. I don't know if we'll try another line. I think we may have found what we like, but I can highly recommend it.
Cool. Well, thank you for talking to us about your Disney experience. Before we let you go, because we try and do a cruise creature, and since you are one of our aquarium friends, we thought, let's just talk about a cool creature. And today you said is what?
Penguin Awareness Day.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot we haven't had the music in a few weeks. So by all means, dear, please play the music.
That was not a penguin.
That was not a penguin. I mean, but they also can't fly. So, Penguin Awareness Day. So be aware of penguins. And Thom, you often are amongst penguins more than I am, for sure, more than Kimbra is in your job. So let's talk about penguins for a second. They're all in the South. I will say that. My knowledge of penguins is not nearly as broad as my knowledge of reptiles.
Do you know how many different species there are?
Not off the top of my head.
Is it this many?
18, I think, is the
18.
Where did I get 7 from?
As Alice Cooper sang about in that famous song, 18 and he likes it.
Yeah, that's sea turtles.
Oh, maybe.
Sea turtles are 7, yes.
Maybe that's what I was thinking of. Well, 7's a good number. It's also a Harry Potter number, so.
It is. 18, I think, species of penguins. And what I always kind of blow people's minds with at the aquarium, because I work with, we have a large penguin character mascot named Rocky. And so I try to educate and do a little education there with the people that come in, is that of those 18 species of penguins, only about 5 of them live in Antarctica. Most penguins live in temperate to warm temperatures up to 100 degrees, like the Galapagos Islands and Africa, where our African penguins are from. That they're just absolutely fine in the heat. So that's one of 3 facts that I use to kind of blow people's minds about penguins.
Definitely one that people don't expect. I will say most of those penguins are in cold water, but the air temperature can be quite warm. I know, being in Florida, sometimes people are like, they see penguins outside, for example, in Florida, and they're like, not naturally in Florida, but in a zoo or an aquarium, like, oh, that has to be like refrigerated or something. And you're like, no, they're like us, temperate.
Yeah, as long as they got some cool water to dive in, then they're pretty good. They've adapted and developed mechanisms to release the heat. So that's one thing I share. The other one is that penguins are dinosaurs. And whenever I have a kid with a T-Rex shirt, I'm like, hey, you know what? Penguins are dinosaurs. Like, no, they're not. I'm like, yeah, they are. And I'm not even joking. So if that is surprising to anyone, it's because scientists divide dinosaurs into avian and non-avian dinosaurs. So bird dinosaurs and no bird dinosaurs. And that's right. Pittsburgh penguins, that is the 19th species. Yes. But they will probably go extinct this year. No, it's a joke. But yeah, avian and non-avian dinosaurs. The non-avian dinosaurs died out 65 million years ago, but the avian dinosaurs, they continue to grow, evolve, diversify, and became modern birds. And penguins is birds, so penguins is dinosaurs. And then the other one is that penguins used to be huge. The Kumimanu penguin in New Zealand reached heights of 5'6" to 5'8".
That's like your height.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like,
and that was 60 million years ago. What I always say, just to simplify it for the kids, is that after the dinosaurs go extinct, animals start getting big because there's not as many predators around to eat them. Now, that was a really long period of time, but I just shrink it for the educational purposes. But basically, that's what's happening. Ecosystems are changing, and because of the food systems and the lack of predators, gigantism becomes the norm again. So you've got animals getting big, and the biggest penguin, the colossal penguin, 6'8", 250 pounds.
Ooh.
Or as I like to say, LeBron James in a tuxedo.
I was going to say, that sounds like an NBA penguin right there.
Those are exactly LeBron James stats. 6'8".
Are they really?
I would love to see penguins playing basketball.
I don't know if they could dribble very well, shoot.
Yeah, probably not.
Traveling would be a real problem with them, I think.
Maybe they could play soccer.
Soccer, yes.
They don't have mad hops.
I guess the world was acting like an island, because I just did a little bit in one of our camps about gigantism, and there's also dwarfism on islands, and how sort of like what you're talking about on islands, a lot of times you get animals that end up getting very large for their group of animals because there's no predators, and they start to fill the niches that these larger predators would fill, and that's how you get your Galapagos tortoises and your Komodo dragons, but there are a lot of other non-reptile animals too that get extraordinarily larger on islands than the mainland.
Yeah, probably, after the impact at the end of the Cretaceous, you've just got a fragmented ecosystem. I mean, everything's been blown to bits. So things are starting to remake themselves, and probably starting very locally before you had huge worldwide ecosystems coming to bear. So you've got all these little pockets or islands of creatures that are evolving, and that favors giganticism.
And then you end up with weird places like Australia that just never got back in the club.
Yeah, no, that's weird stuff.
And that's how you get Vegemite. But do you have a favorite penguin? I mean, not an individual one. Obviously, that's Rocky, but like species?
No, not particularly. I like them all. I mean, I talk a lot about emperor penguins because they're the size of most of the kids that we have come see Rocky, and I'm like, hey, Rocky's big, but there really are penguins as big as you. So we talk about emperors a lot, but yeah, I like them all.
Do you have a favorite penguin?
Do I have a favorite penguin? There's my Australian friends. I don't know. I guess to make up for that Australian comment, I will say the little blues down in Australia, just because they're on my favorite continent, and two, they're just, I think for penguins, they're kind of different. I do like those ones. She's Google imaging them with the craziness of those chin straps, or there's a couple of them.
Macaronis also have a lot of crestage.
Yeah. What about you, Kimbra?
So I specifically Googled the rockhopper penguin because they have really cool hair. But I also like the idea of the fairy penguins because they're called fairy penguins, which is I think also the little blue. They don't call them fairy penguins for whatever reason, but I think they're wrong because fairy is cool.
Yeah. And they're not in the garden; they're on the beach. And so
I just wrote a song about fairy penguins.
Did you?
Yeah. It was for my niece who got this penguin at Animal Kingdom, and we looked up at what kind of penguin it was, and the best we could find was a fairy penguin. And she goes, "Okay, write a song about it now."
And just so you guys know, if you ever go to the Florida Aquarium, there's a good chance you will see Thom performing some of his songs. You do all kinds of really cool, fun, educational songs about animals, that marine life, but even non-marine life as well.
Yeah, last count we were in 38, I think, songs.
38. Oh my gosh.
And I play Tuesdays now, every Tuesday at the aquarium in the
there you go.
window. So yeah.
Cool. Well, Thom, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight and talking about your Disney experience. We really appreciate it. And you got anything you want to add to that?
Tom's gonna sing us out. He
He's
probably doesn't know the words anymore.
We didn't sign that contract.
Yeah. We love penguins. I sang that about 50 times a day.
That's awesome.
Thanks for having me, guys. This was fun.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you, and maybe we'll see you. We'll see you next week.
Indeed. All right.
Thanks,
guys. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Ready to roll the credits and then jump back in?
Oh yeah, let's do that.
All right. Well, on that note, it's time to celebrate, and until next time, seize the day.
Have a fantastic week, everybody. All right. Well, there's the credits, everybody. So we're going to just hang out. Thom, again, thank you so much. You're welcome to hang out. I don't know if we have any questions, but also if not, we don't want to take all of your time.
Sure. I mean, if there are questions, I'm happy to stick
Let
around.
me see. I don't know how many people we got.
I don't know if we
right
got a lot
now.
of questions.
If you are listening or watching, probably watching if anything right now, and you have some.
No.
Oh no! Can you still hear us, Thom?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because obviously our camera crapped out. But if you have questions about Disney cruises or anything that we talked about tonight, let us know, and we'll see.
Ari Lemieux was a
Okay.
great one. He was probably the best.
That's not going to work, Matt.
No, it's not. Hang on.
Turn your volume up.
How about now? Probably you guys can hear me now.
Yes, we can.
Ooh,
There we
that's
go.
loud.
Yeah, there's our technical problems, but they didn't come till after the thing was over.
Understand.
Mario Lemieux was a great Penguin. Yes. Are you really a Pittsburgh Penguin fan, Paul? Meg saying thank you. Let's see. We got Billy here saying hello. Sorry I'm late. We can hear you. Yep. I don't see any questions. Looks like we got.
Did you say hi to
Cool.
Matt again?
You're welcome, Meg.
Okay.
All right, guys.
All right.
Peace
Thank
out.
you again, Thom. Have a good night.
Thanks.
All right. We'll see if we can get our camera back here, and then we'll hang out for a few before you guys go over to Down Under Cruisers. But as you can see, the technical difficulties continue. I'm glad that we were able to get all of Thom on there with us before they really reared their ugly head. But yeah, that's fun. Here, I can do this. It won't be the best camera view, but I think I can do this. There we go. So I don't know what to tell you guys. We bought this really nice webcam. It has great reviews, and we have lots of problems with it. So Facebook user says, I don't know who this is, but I am here now, had an empty toilet overflow, so I missed most of the show, but I will watch later. Thom is such a nice guy. Thom is a super nice guy. He is a very, very nice guy. And he's also really fun and funny, and he does a lot of cool stuff at the aquarium, but also outside of the aquarium.
That was your mom.
My mom. Hey, Mom. And so, okay, well, we'll backtrack a little bit here. We got Captain Billy here in the house. Hello, Billy. That great Tampa internet. Yeah, I don't think it's actually the internet.
I think it's the camera.
I think it's this camera, which is
I don't know.
Which is supposed to be a really good camera. I don't know if we just got a dud or what. And hello, Michael Ann. Don't worry about being late. We got Dan. I saw Dan in there interacting. The problem is I'm trying to keep focused on the camera, and I can't read the chat at the same time. Now and they'll look back, and I'm like, oh, I'm looking on. Anyway, see if we got anything else in here. Talking about cats. JT talking about cats.
Dan just went to get a new cat.
Oh.
Or he's getting ready to go get a new cat.
Okay. Calico, is that what I saw? Going back on all these. JT was saying, been on an Oasis and Allure. The size is amazing. Never been on Disney. Yeah, I 4 years ago, I'm just going to say 4 years ago, I was like
I got this back.
Oh, we're back.
Ready?
Okay, let's switch it over. Yeah. All right, let's see.
Mute.
And boop. There we go.
Are we back?
We're back for now. Yeah, I think I would have been kind of like, there's no way I'm going to go on Disney. It's too darn expensive. But then hearing these experiences, not just from the people that we've had on the podcast, but I know them very well, and so I really trust their judgment and opinion, and other people too that have done that. It makes it a little more intriguing. I don't know. Especially that Indian food. Like that.
Yeah, I was
Right there
actually
could get
thinking
me
that
to-
once we get off of here, I'm going to price out a Disney cruise just to see.
And here's the thing.
Because I haven't looked in a little while.
So both the cruises he went on were a little bit shorter.
They were shorter, yeah.
So, but it's one of those things where you're getting quality over quantity. And so, not all of our cruises have to be 7 nights long,
Right.
at that price point. So we might be able to do a Disney cruise for what we would normally do, like maybe, a Mardi Gras kind of cruise
Mhm.
on, and do like a 4-night and see,
Mhm.
I Disney's okay. I'm not a huge Disney fan.
I like Disney.
But I appreciate like when I go to the theme parks, I enjoy the experience. I appreciate the skill and craftsmanship that goes into the Disney parks.
Will you
So-
dress like a princess?
I will dress like a princess pirate.
Okay.
How about that? I would consider that. But yeah. Paul says I shouldn't trust his judgment. Whoops, I hit the wrong one. There we go.
Your mom wants to do a Disney cruise.
That doesn't surprise me at all. Yeah. My mom would love a Disney cruise. I have no doubt at all that she would love a Disney cruise. Yeah.
But you have to dress like a Disney princess. And which one would you choose?
Yeah, okay, let's do that. Let's have a little fun with our people in the chat. If you were going to go in character on a Disney cruise, which character would you go as? It doesn't have to be a princess, but for the men out there, bonus points if you do.
Which Disney princess would you, or which Disney character? We'll ask you the same question.
So if I say anything other than Peter Pan, my mom's gonna call me out because I wanted to be Peter Pan when I was a small child. So, but let me
There's
think,
new things that have
let me
come out
think,
since
let me think
then.
outside that box. I mean, my obvious answer would be Ariel because I want to.
Have long, flowy red hair.
Yes, obviously, and swim underwater, and yeah, I don't know. Which one would you go as?
What do you think I would say?
Oh, I know who you would go
Yeah.
as. You would go as the Rapunzel princess. Is that Rapunzel?
Rapunzel.
Okay, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because I know you like that one quite a bit.
I also like Moana.
Moana's cool. Moana's cool.
I mean, and Mirabelle has a magic house.
yeah. Right. Okay.
But Rapunzel is my favorite Disney princess.
Yes.
So
Yes. Paul says Sleeping Beauty for me. Let's see. Billy would go as Uncle Scrooge. Okay. I'm sure that's my mom, Ariel. And then his wife would go as Mickey and Minnie. Fair. Meg would like the Star Wars or would love the Star Wars and Marvel stuff. Yeah. Honestly, like Disney, I would say like the Mouse and Goofy and stuff is what I least care about.
I would agree with that, except Pluto. I love Pluto.
You like Pluto, really?
I do. Love Pluto.
Interesting. I guess you're a dog person though, so it kind of makes
And
sense.
he's like an actual dog.
Yeah, what's the deal with that? Goofy and Pluto. That doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense. But
That's always
But,
been the question.
the Disney
Meg's
movies
an Iron Man. Meg-
would be more
Meg's gonna cruise as Iron Man.
Iron Man. That's not a Disney character.
It's Marvel.
I didn't say Disney owned character because that could be anything.
Well,
I'd go as Kermit if I was going to do that.
That's
But but yeah,
Oh, Disney. I would be Slinky Dog.
Slinky Dog. Is that from Toy Story?
Yeah.
Okay, the Slinky Dog. I know what that is. Yeah. Oh, Pluto is Paul's favorite as well. Yeah.
Paul, we're meant to be a BFFs. That's all I have to say.
Good choices. Good choices. Well, yeah. I don't know. I think it'd be fun.
I got Pluto's autograph last time I went to Disney.
Did you? How did he write as a dog? Was it just a paw
Um,
print? Or?
it was he wrote Pluto and then drew a paw print.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. I just found a band called oh shoot, what are they called? Punk rock something. Darn it. Hang on. Anyway,
Did you put them in your favorites?
no.
So you're not gonna find them again?
No, I'll find them.
Factory.
Factory, Punk Rock Factory.
It's at the top.
And thank you. And I just found them by chance, and they are I think they started making music during the pandemic, but they do other covers, but mostly Disney covers in sort of a punky metal style. And they're all, I think, men with beards, but their cover art, I don't know how well this will show up. Not very well.
Not very well.
But
I can possibly find it.
That's all. It's not that big of a deal. With their cover art, they do like the Disney characters, but they also will have somebody draw them as princesses, at least in that one. They also have one with Masters of the Universe. And anyway.
Captain Billy said, I got Goofy's autograph once. I looked at it and he signed it as Paul S. Vines.
That's awesome. Yeah, Meg, check them out. Punk Rock Factory. They don't have a lot of albums out. They're coming out with they're about to come out with one. They have one song released that's sort of punk rock covers of Broadway musical numbers, I believe is what it is. Or musicals, definitely musicals. I don't recognize all the songs.
You told me Defying Gravity was going to be on there.
Defying Gravity is one of them listed. Yeah. So kind of fun. I mean, think Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, but a little more specific and probably not as talented, but still good. You know, I haven't listened to all their stuff, but what I've heard has been hit or miss.
Todd said Eeyore or Baloo.
Eeyore. See, now Eeyore, I don't know. I don't consider Winnie the Pooh Disney. I know they own
Winnie the Pooh is absolutely Disney.
But they're not like Disney.
It's Disney.
Winnie the Pooh was its own thing and Disney ate it.
But it was Disney when I was a kid.
I don't think it was Disney when I was a kid. I don't think it was.
You know, Todd, Eeyore and Baloo are like totally opposite kind of characters.
That is true. That's pretty funny.
Also, hello, Kelly and Tammy's
Hello.
Journey. Welcome.
Hello. Welcome.
You are catching us at the end, but we'll talk for a little bit.
Yes.
Still.
Yes.
Probably not too much longer, though, because Down Under Cruisers are going on soon.
Yes.
And I need a snack.
You need a snack?
I'm hungry.
And we have to, we're going to get up early tomorrow. We don't have to get up early tomorrow because there's a Repticon in Orlando and we must go and drive our new vehicle on the highway
I'm so excited.
For over an hour. And
did you hear that?
So you will never, ever, ever hear either one of us be excited about driving a vehicle with very few exceptions. And one of them is because we just bought this vehicle and we're both kind of excited to drive it.
I'm terrified to drive it, but I'm also really excited
to drive it. Are you driving there? Like our normal thing?
Yeah.
You drive there, I'll drive back? That's fine. Yeah. No, that's fine. As our name Thuggeth? Oh, Daffy Duck. Daffy Duck. Okay, Duck. I get it. I get it. Scott says, fine, Queen of Hearts.
That does not say Scott.
That does not. Todd says, I saw Scott in there earlier. Todd says, fine, Queen of Hearts.
When we first started.
I know. I look and my brain does weird things. I don't know what to tell you.
You got Scott on your mind?
I always have Scott on my mind. But I always have Todd on my mind too. So I don't, what are you going to do?
Good.
Reno
just laid on the camera. That's why it wiggled.
Awesome. That was Reno saying hi. He was wagging his camera tail at you.
That's kind of weird.
That's very weird. It's very, very weird. Yeah, so we weren't even sure if we were going to pull this podcast off tonight because
we didn't know what we were going to do.
Buying a car takes like days now to do that.
Well, and we didn't.
But it went okay.
We knew we were kind of maybe going to actually buy the car, but also not 100%.
Well, interest rates are stupid.
Yeah.
Right now, so
and we
had to make sure they could get us a decent one, which they did for right now.
We went to one place and they're under construction, so they had like almost nothing.
Yeah.
So then we went to another one. So Matt was really interested in 2 potential vehicles.
Mostly.
I mean, we were open,
yeah,
but we were interested in
I was curious about some of
the Kia Sportage and the Toyota RAV4.
Yeah.
And he was mostly interested more in the RAV4, so he was like, let's look at that one last. So the second place we went to after Hyundai was Kia. We're like, okay, let's look at the Sportage. And then we didn't leave.
Which was fine with me at that point because I really liked the car. Obviously, we bought it. So, yes. Todd says Matt is Flynn Rider.
Flynn Rider is one of my favorites.
Who is Flynn?
And very appropriate.
Who is Flynn Rider?
Flynn Rider is the dude from Rapunzel.
Oh,
from
okay.
Tangled.
Okay.
He's the.
So is it appropriate because you want to be Rapunzel, or is it appropriate?
Because I like Flynn Rider. I don't know why he said that. He could tell
Probably
us.
because you like Rapunzel.
Maybe.
So that would make
or
me
maybe
Flynn Rider.
because you have the smolder.
The smolder?
That's what they call it.
I have the smolder. Smolder and Scully.
Flynn.
When you said Flynn Rider, I didn't know who that was, but I
it's
went
a thing.
straight to Tron because I think one of the characters in Tron, Flynn.
There's-
Oh, Todd says Matt is handsome like him. Let's leave that. I'm gonna leave that kind of.
See, it's the Flynn Rider smolder.
Oh yeah, that's what I look like.
He's like, it's the smolder. We're gonna have to watch Tangled now. You know that?
I have seen Tangled,
Yeah,
but it's been a minute. It has been a minute. I've only
I'll
seen
sing
it.
to you.
You sing to me anyway. I've only seen it, I think, twice.
Well,
Rapunzel.
let's make it 3. What are you doing?
I know the
after
Beastie
this?
Boys, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair so I can climb up and get into. Anyway,
Okay.
no, my Beastie Boy people out there, come on.
Cool.
Cool.
Are you ready to go get a snack and watch Rapunzel?
I might be ready to go to bed. I don't know. I'm tired.
We I didn't sleep real well last night.
I think we were excited because we knew we were going to get the car
Yeah.
this morning. So we were both up like Christmas morning, like kids on Christmas morning.
I woke up at like 4:15. I think you were up around that time too, because you were
I
kind of
was.
tossing and turning as I was too.
I got up and then I fell back asleep for a little bit,
For about an hour and a
Yeah.
half, sort of fell back asleep.
something like that.
And then at like 6:15, we were both like wide awake playing on
Yeah.
our phones. And I'm like, okay, this is not okay.
Not good, Mom.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we might be crashing. So if you don't see us in Down on the Cruisers, it's not because we don't love Alana. We do. And Sean's all right. But it's because we're probably tired. But maybe we'll pop in there. We'll see. Sometimes I get a second wind of energy when I when I'm done with everything and I just
Maybe I'll have a Coke.
How's the video and audio been tonight? Has it been smooth?
Aside from when we lost it.
Right, obviously. Yeah. Other than that, has it been clearer? Has the 1080 been apparent? Has it been smooth?
Should we come back to StreamYard?
Should we give StreamYard a second chance? Hello, Danny D, the super supporter. We're about to probably sign out pretty good. Thank you, Michael. And she says, yes, looks and sounds good to her. So, good. Good.
Sean says, any excuse will do, Matt. Kimbra, your background is still awesome. Thank you. Michael Ann says, looks and sound good to me. Yep, looks good. Oh, Danny D, the super supporter, has been lurking. Well, thank you for saying hello.
Oh, yes. Hello. And you're welcome to lurk, of course.
Indeed.
In doodly deedly. I feel like there's something else we were gonna. I don't know. Do we have other news?
I don't know.
Things?
Did we show that really cool wall piece last time that I printed? Can I show it off this time?
I mean, do you think people care? This isn't the Dungeons and
No,
Dragons.
but I know
3D
there's at least
printing
one
podcast.
person in our chat that would enjoy it.
Does it all?
No, it's just the one piece.
This one?
Yeah. You do have to unconnect it. You might have to stand up. I'm sorry.
Stand up. I won't stand for that.
Let's see. I switched from StreamYard to Melon App. Cheaper and pretty similar.
Who said that?
Captain Billy J.
Captain Billy. Does Melon do 1080 at the same price point or at all? Or does it do 720? Because I can't, honestly, I just can't go back to 720.
Oh, Meg said I am that one person.
I'm
Okay, so actually
spoiled.
maybe a couple. I was specifically talking about
But for
Todd
different-
because of the 3D printing.
I was going to say,
aspect,
but Meg,
but Meg for the D&D. Yeah.
reason.
Okay. So we got.
You should really paint that.
I
It'll
know.
look way better.
I'm going to. Thanks for pointing that out. I was actually going to print more pieces and then print them all, paint them all together. Anyway, so we subscribed to. Sorry, I'm trying to do multiple things at once. It's called Loot Studios, and it's basically a bunch of files for 3D printing, and each one has kind of like a theme. So this one has like a bunch of walls and stuff, and one of the walls.
This is the dragon theme, right?
This season is a dragon.
But
theme.
there is
a
this
dragon.
This is the dragon that you printed, a little dragon. There.
So one of the wall pieces has a doorway that rolls open or rolls shut, which I think is like the coolest thing ever. I love it so much. I can't wait to like make an entire dungeon room and utilize it.
Yeah. We want to.
Oh, that's right. Michael Ann's in here too. So she.
Oh yeah.
We've got people that enjoy my stuff.
We are hoping to get out of the apartment world and rent a house because buying a house is just impossible right now for us. But and then hopefully we'll have space to have like a dedicated.
We're gonna have like a big table
D&D room with actual dragons in the room. That'd be a great place to put like churro.
Oh yeah.
Or something, or a little jumping spider with a Hobbit scene, but
really.
Yeah.
I just want you to know that you had your opportunity.
Oh, it was
to make
just
that
one and done.
I had made the decision to tell you okay that one time.
They're going to be at
You
the
changed
show
your
tomorrow.
mind?
I'm just saying. All right, Melon app is 17. Oh, okay.
Put that back a bit.
Yes, Melon app is $70 a month for 1080. So Melon has 1080. Now Sean was using Melon too, and he switched to EVMux and is like EVMux. StreamYard is $39 a month for the 1080, but StreamYard is not $39 a month for 720. And they told us they would give us 1080 at, I think it's $19.99 or
Something like that.
something. So it's still a little more than Melon, a couple bucks more than Melon. Well, we really like StreamYard's simplicity. It's not probably as many options, but it seems to. I'm not talking about Melon because I haven't used it. I can't say anything about that. But
and all of our
EV Mux-
videos are currently loaded into it, which we couldn't find before, which is why we weren't playing them.
yes,
on EVMux. So
yes,
So there's that.
So it's simpler with less options, but it works. It's easier to use and kind of works better. Kind of like Apple versus Android, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah. So there you go.
Meg said, "I feel the ambiance." My Glenn said, "My son wanted to build a D&D table. I'd love to have like a really cool like that D&D table that like you see in some of the YouTube videos and stuff. We're not like that deep into it. I would not be opposed to doing.
Well,
that.
we don't have
We don't have
the space or the local friends.
Yeah.
If people want to move down here and start a D&D group, we'd be happy to do that.
Yeah.
StreamYard will do whatever it can to get your business, then up the price. You know what? I'll go month to month though, so what, Matt? You have to use that example. What did I say? What did I say? Here's what we were thinking about today, Sean, when we were driving around our new spacious SUV. Man, that would have been a lot more comfortable when Sean and Alana were here.
Yeah. I was like,
we would have had room for all your luggage and our luggage, and
you
like
wouldn't have had to like
super
have all your
spacious in the
bags sitting on top of
background.
you.
It would have been amazing. Oh, the Apple Android. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not trying to start any wars, but that is kind of how I see Apple and Android phones. Like Apple, to me, like my friends that liked Android, they liked it because they could do more nitpicky little options and stuff. And for me, Apple didn't have those, but it just was easier to use and it just worked more.
Yeah, that's actually really good.
I tried
comparison.
Android and it drove me nuts, but they loved it. So I'm not saying one's right or wrong. I mean, obviously it is, but no, I'm not saying that. But that's kind of how I see the phone world. That's how I see the phone world. So should have just let Sean on the side of the road free up some room. No, I wouldn't do that. Sean's my mate. No, we appreciate everything you did for us. So much fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The only thing that I will say is that it wasn't long enough, but but it was a lot of fun.
All right, you ready to wrap this up?
Let's wrap it up like a present, like a birthday present.
It's my birthday?
No, mine. No, I'm German. Mine birthday is next. I can't do it very well. I go
What do
straight
you want
into
for your
Schultz
birthday?
from Hogan's Heroes. It's still a ways off. My birthday is quite some distance off.
I didn't say when is your birthday. I said what do you want for your birthday.
I don't know.
I know when your birthday
No
is.
idea. It's way too early for that.
You want to cruise?
Probably want a car payment. Can you make a car payment for me?
You want me to make a car payment? I mean, I could do that. And on my birthday, you make a car
There you go.
payment.
There you go. There we go. That might be it.
Meg said happy almost half birthday, Kimbra. Thank you, Meg. I've still got a few months.
Past my half birthday. Just saying.
I
Oh, actually, it is my half birthday, isn't it?
No.
Well-
Your half birthday was December.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
It's past your half birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Todd said, excited to see the aquarium.
We are excited to go to the aquarium with you guys and other fine folks. Yeah, and if you guys are ever in Tampa, let us know, because if you go to the aquarium, we would love to, if we can, we'd love to come and hang out. And if we have a few minutes, we'll show you around. If you come certain times, like our cruise, you might get like a real tour of the aquarium. So we shall see. But
The dog is making noises. You hear them? They're weird noises.
no.
Okay.
No. All right. Well, we will sign off. Don't forget, Down Under Cruisers coming on in about 9 minutes. So go check them out. Don't forget that the Helping Hands for Cruising Cruiseathon is coming up. Gosh, why you don't have those dates? Like
February 9th.
Thank you. February 9th, starting February 9th. So please consider donating to Helping Hands for Cruising. You can do it now if you want to, but we are having a cruiseathon at that point to try and raise money.
Meg said, is there a meetup before the cruise?
Mhm.
There will be something
Well,
possibly like that.
yes. So we are going to go to I think we're pretty much for sure going to go to the aquarium the day before the cruise. That's like a thing.
Yeah, but we need to find out exactly when people are coming in
Right.
and kind of where everybody is going to be. And we're going to try and do something,
Mhm.
possibly the aquarium the day before, and then
Probably.
maybe a dinner or hangout thing the night of.
Yeah.
We don't have locations or specifics for any of that. We just have the general idea.
But I think we're pretty sure the aquarium is the thing that's going to happen the day before. And then that evening, we will do something somewhere, and we will let people know so that people can join. Maybe we'll go to Ybor or something, because there's a lot of, you can take the trolley and get to that. And that's a good place for groups of people. But it's also a weekend, so it could get a little, but we'll see. And then the night before that Friday night, not as many people will be here.
Yeah, but we still might do something.
We will probably do something, because there will be some people here.
Like your mom will be here.
Yeah.
I think Aunt Dee will be here.
Mhm.
James and Cindy will be here.
Yep.
I think Todd and Patty will be
Yeah.
here.
So we will definitely do dinner at the very least somewhere, something. We will meet and spend as much time with people as we can. So, and I don't think there'll be that much time after the cruise, because usually you get done with the cruise, people just want to go home. Even though it's fun hanging out with everybody, most people are just ready to go.
Yeah.
I think so. We probably won't do anything major after the cruise. If there are people that are like, hey, we're going to be in Tampa until the next day or later that day, and you want to hang out, we're not saying we won't do that, but I don't think we're going to plan anything as of right now for that. But yeah, it's gonna be good times.
All right.
Oh, Billy's staying at the Hard Rock Casino. Like,
Wow.
that's fun.
My mom and stepdad love it there.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
All right, everybody. Good night. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
See y'all.